4, 7, 2, 1. Dum, dum. Welcome to the news at when? When? Now!
When?
Yes.
Well, a big hello to everybody. Great to see you. Hope I find you well. It's quite busy in the chat. Good to see you. Values56XX, Rick Morley, RG Models 86PN Motorsport Trains, Patrick Ling, Michael Sarsfield, Leslie Gilpin Railways, Flymer Chairman 1, Peter Jackson, Cheadle Heath, Michael Sarsfield. Whoa!
Oh my goodness, that just rolled very, very quickly.
Extreme! Hello, AD Pullen, Zantec, Warbler Productions, Yaharic, Robert Becking, Plymouth North the Road Station. I can't keep up. David Simpson, JL Railways. It's good to see you all. I hope you're well. It's Monday. It's Bank Holiday Monday. And that means that for you mere mortals, it's a school night. But for me, I negotiated every Tuesday off. So, boom, still on my Bank Holiday weekend. But it's really good to see you. Hope you are well. Now, we've got some news, actually, that's happened since last week's show. I thought we'd
bear
mention,
with us.
Yes. So, a joint statement's been put out by a good deal of the US model railway manufacturers, and this is with regard to products going into the US market.
Yes.
And this is because of Trump's 145% tariff, I believe it is, on Chinese goods. And, of course, you know, it's a fact of life that most, if not all, model railway items, well, not quite all, but most are coming from factories in China.
Yes.
And what this means is that unexpectedly prices have gone up more than double for US modelers, which I believe the manufacturer said it's just not sustainable.
It's not a sustainable business practice. The fact of the matter is that when you put stuff up by that much, it's halves what people's buying power is.
Yeah, people
overnight.
And the thing is that the idea that you should just move production to the US. Well, there's a reason it's out in China. It's partly because of the skills required, but that's not insurmountable. But also, it's partly because the cost of manufacturing. It's so much cheaper in China, precisely because they pay people a lot less.
Yeah, which is why some manufacturers, not train stuff, but other products, are starting to move to Indonesia and Thailand India, places like that. It's not coming home. That's the long and short of it.
Absolutely not. And one of the things that's happened is that some of the American manufacturers, that obviously you order these things anywhere up to several years in advance. So they've been caught on the hop a bit. So apparently there's warehouses in China filling up with products that should be being shipped to the US. But they're kind of just waiting to see what happens. Ham Shackleton says not just US rail modelers either. A lot of aero model kits is Chinese, such as motors, lithium batteries. And Sarah Davis, quality would suffer in the interim anyway, and prices would go up as you'd have to pay workers more in the UK and USA. There's a reason that the manufacturer moved out there in the first place.
Yeah, it wasn't sustainable at home.
Yeah, and they'll always, I mean, look at that Black 5 that I built. Yes, you can do it. But the first one I made is woeful. Has a bit of a limp.
Yeah, and
there's a little bag of pieces that I don't know where they're supposed to go.
And that's exactly what they're saying about quality will drop.
Yes.
Yeah, the skills can be taught, but while you're teaching, where's your product?
Yeah, and I suppose the thing is as well, I don't know about you, but I'm not working for peanuts. So you're talking about huge costs in personnel.
We come back to exactly what we said with the Black 5. Would you have assembled that for minimum wage? When you can go down the street and flip burgers for the same money?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
and
no one else would
that's
either.
The bottom line. It's very intensive work, and you know, what I quickly deduced assembling that Black 5 is that, you know, you can't just coast at the job.
Oh, good grief, no.
Mentally, it's very taxing.
Yeah.
You know, and that costs money. Rick Morley says, $1,000 locomotives, scary stuff. Yeah. Sarah Davis says, when Matchbox first moved to Hong Kong from the UK, the quality went downhill dramatically. But over time, and actually over a short space of time, the Chinese manufacturing really did pick up the pace.
they got it down pat.
So that's one of the big things. It's an ever-developing story at the moment. We'll see what happens. But the Trump administration doubling down on tariffs. So we're seeing now saying 100% tariffs on films not made in the US.
So they're gonna stick with us for at least the medium term, which means that all of these warehouses are going to get stacked up and stacked up and stacked up. We're going to see companies that really struggle and potentially a few go out of business.
Unfortunately, we're going to see some of the smaller companies can't weather this.
Yeah.
I think that it could actually put out of business some of the smaller American manufacturers who manufacture in China but sell into the US market.
It's not,
and I don't think that's good for the hobby.
No, it's absolutely not. It's not fair on them.
I think that's the gist of the statement that's been put out.
So we were going to talk to some people, weren't we? And then realise that might actually not be the best move.
Yeah, we were going to see if we could talk to somebody in the US about this, but we decided for reasons that we probably would be better off not doing that. But
we don't want to paint a target on people's backs, basically.
Unfortunately, that does seem to be one of the things that's happening. But in other news, Bachmann are doing their, and it's their quarterly announcement is coming up on Wednesday. So really looking at this with interest. We already know about the Class 66. And
I believe a certain Iron Horse may have broken that piece of news with an exclusive interview.
Yes, coming about the same time as the 69s as well. So
69,
really looking forward to this. And I do wonder whether if Bachmann are doing the Class 69, does that open the door to the Class 56 in the tooling? And could we actually see a third manufacturer making a Class 56? I honestly don't know. I'm just speculating here. But Bachmann are always very good at keeping secrets. My guess is there's going to be at least one product that we don't know about where they'll go, and we're doing this, and it'll be in the shops on Monday, sort of a thing. No. I think there is a good chance that we might get announced extra livery variants of the Class 08, maybe with something like Class 10, Class 11, or even Class 12 breaking cover.
TT120.
I'm not convinced.
Hellion are jumping back in.
Yeah, well, Hellion have actually been working on that for a very long time. I think that Bachmann has kind of put its resources into not just N-Gauge through Graham Farish, but we've also got narrow gauge. They've become the kings of narrow gauge. So I would suspect we're going to get some NG7, also known as 016.5 announcements. And I think it's actually something that you can look at the 009 releases to get a sense of maybe what they might announce. And the Bagley Drury diesel locomotive, I'm not convinced that that's going to do well. It does seem to have stuck in 009. However, the Quarry Hunslets have done very, very well. And I do wonder whether their next model could well be something along the lines of a mainline Hunslet in original configuration as an 040. That would be another good drop-off point into the 016.5 range. Although actually, you could argue maybe they'll take on the small and large Englands. That's another area where they could well do well. So, I
believe it's time for us to roll VT.
VT? Oh, my word.
Monday Club, your online model rail club for all the news, gossip, layout tours and more, with your host, broadcaster and model maker, Jennifer Kirk.
The Monday Club is proudly sponsored by TMC, the Model Centre. Check them out at themodelcentre.com. The website features extensive stocks of new models as well as selective pre-owned items where you can track down that bargain you've always wanted. Pre-order with confidence all of the forthcoming models from all the manufacturers. TMC also offer a renumbering and renaming service so you can get the exact identity of locomotive that you want. Why not also check out their value weathering or go for something incredibly special with their bespoke service where you can choose from a more extensive weathered look right through to custom graffiti either off the peg or to a design of your choice. Check out TMC today at themodelcentre.com and start your model journey.
A big thank you there to TMC, the Model Centre, for sponsoring the show.
Absolutely.
Remember to check out their amazing range of pre-owned
links
stuff.
Down below. Yeah, full range of pre-owned, all checked and guaranteed, with new items being uploaded to their website daily. Now, looking through the comments, RG Models 86 says we need more 009 announcements. I'd definitely get behind that, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. Double M Dave says, I really want to see the Darj locos in 009 or NG7, the Darjeeling and the Himalaya locos. And I think,
that'd be interesting. Yeah.
It's an interesting point. There is one that's run in preservation in the UK, but only one. However, in India, there's quite a few of them. So it's an interesting point.
Are you telling me in India, the Darjeeling Railway has a number of locomotives?
Yes, they do.
My goodness.
Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath says, I did hear from a Bachmann rep at Key Model World Live that there are 3 containers in transit now that will be here very soon and very full of all good stuff. I can well believe that. So let's just see what people have been typing whilst I've had that just paused so we can read that. Tim Mason says, evening Jenny, you'll be pleased to know Trains for You sorted the issue with not having the wagon in the box at the NEC. Oh, well, I'm so glad to hear.
News.
So big thumbs up to Trains for You for getting that sorted out for you.
That's the type of thing I love to hear, because we always hear, well, not just good news, but we always hear when there's an issue. We don't always hear when that issue is solved properly.
It's always very important to hear how a retailer or a manufacturer resolves any issues. So I think that's really good. So
absolute
big thumbs up for Trains for You. Great news on that. Now we will be getting into the mystery box and also some figure painting. But in terms of what's going to be announced, I think Zantec actually asks, were there any large gauge shunters rebuilt in narrow gauge, such as Huntlets? Well, there was the Funkies.
The what?
Yeah, they were from South Africa. There was one that was radically rebuilt for the Festiniog, and one that had a kind of cursory rebuild for the Welsh Highland Railway. And whilst the I can't remember, I think it's Vale of Festiniog is the one which is being cut down to the Festiniog Railway loading gauge. It can run on both, but the other one can't. But I don't know. Diesel locomotives in narrow gauge, something like a Simplex would be, there were loads of them working in industry. You could have the Tin Turtle, the first locomotive in the preservation era on the Festiniog Railway that kind of opened the route. Double M Dave says there's a Ruston that was rebuilt to narrow gauge. I believe it's in Australia.
Nice.
Vale of Festiniog says DJK666 is the Festiniog Rail 1. The red one is the Welsh Highland Railway. So, I'm getting very much into 009 at the moment. Not least because Minith Tattoos Newith is undergoing radical rebuild. And part 2 of that was out on Friday, but I'm guessing that some of you guys have not watched it, because whereas nearly 4,000 people watched part 1, 1.2 thousand people have watched part 2. Come on, guys. I know it was a bank holiday weekend, but
the sun was out, people were out.
Yes.
You can't blame them for enjoying a bit of the weather that we don't usually get.
Come quick, the white people are oiling themselves down and getting naked again. So
this only happens one day a year.
Yes, so I hope you enjoyed over the weekend. I believe Saturday was British summer. So there you go. Castel Carnarvon is the Welsh Highland Railway funky, currently in green with Go Faster stripes. And I'm not convinced that those would sell as well. I think, for me, in NG7, otherwise known as 016.5, my guesses are, because they've already done a lot of the research, all the research, the mainline Hunslets might be a good one. It's an 040, so it'll still get around the tight corners. It's not a huge amount bigger than the Quarry Hunslets, and I think that is important for NG7. But also, we've got the small Englands and large Englands. That would be good to see. But the Baldwin, the 460 Baldwins, are another area which I think would do quite well. Now, in terms of new releases in 009, now my thoughts are that actually we're long overdue for another run of the Class D open bogie wagons. They're getting really quite hard to find out there on the market. And there's certain liveries which are like gold dust second hand. I had to actually look up what it was because there was a catalogue number. I couldn't find any reference to it. And I looked it up, and the Welsh Highland Railway bogie open, I've looked everywhere. No one's got them either second hand or new. Welsh Highland Railway, I believe, had 4 in that livery, and Bachmann have only done 1 of them. I think there's a great opportunity there to do another one of those with a different running number, maybe do a weathered version. Now, the Nocturne Estates ones as well, I think there's room for an open with another running number, maybe one of the 4 or 5, I think, which ultimately went to the Festiniog Railway on the closure of the Nocturne Estates system. I think number 20 or number 2 were 2 that have gone, which have not been done by Bachmann. Nocturne Estates had 12 of the bogie vans. They've only done 2 in model form. War Department opens, they did stick a little bit, but the ambulance vans did sell out. But there's other liveries as well. There's quite a few different Festiniog Railway liveries of the D-Class Open. There's quite a fetching green one, actually. Not to mention the original Festiniog Railway Grey. There's also the Leighton Buzzard Light Railway liveried ones as used by Arnold Sands quarries. So there's a lot of options for re-releases of some of those.
Speaking of wagons and stuff, don't you have a wagon that you forgot to mention last week?
Yeah, I did actually. Warbler Productions. I think it might have been a bit miffed. I'm very, very sorry. It got overlooked in the setting up. But the currently going around, and you will see it eventually, it's on the back of the innermost train, which is a very short train behind a Class 20. And there's the Aranig Granite Company Limited from Aranig, North Wales, near Bala. And I'm really crucifying that pronunciation. But there you go. Anthony says, Jenny, did you see the green 08 from Hornby and TT120 sold out in 4 days after re-release? Wow. Demand is crazy. Hashtag Gronk it up. Gronk it up. Gronk it up. Gronk it up. Hashtag not a cult for legal and tax purposes.
The Gronk it up cult is not a cult for legal and tax purposes. Your mileage may vary. Please consult your physician for more information. So, yes. What I'm interested in, though, talking about the potential for N-gauge.
Do you hear a tumble of clowns?
Yes, the clowns have got in the locomotive again. So what I'm thinking in terms of N-gauge potential releases, that's Hydro Gronk.
Oh yes, but
it's Barish have a Class 08 in N-gauge, don't they?
Yeah, but it's been cut down and changed around a little bit. Actually, Tim's Model Railway in different videos says I want 009 Douglas. Obviously, real locomotive. It was built for the RAF, used at an airfield somewhere. And then it did pass to the Taliesin Railway. And yeah, I think you're right. I think that would be a lovely model. I think we will get it eventually.
If we're going to keep to the kings of narrow gauge, Is there anything on the Isle of Wight narrow gauge that would be a welcome addition to your
they
fleets?
run on different track. You'd have to run that on 12mm track.
So you couldn't just get away with
you can't mix and match
Oh,
between
that's a shame.
009. It would be well, the continental scale is HOM, but I think it would be 0012 would be the scale, and 0012 just isn't a thing. There weren't that many railways of over 3 foot but under 4 foot 8.5 in the UK. There were a few. 3 foot 6 gauge, very, very common, particularly in places like what was the Dutch East Indies, Indonesia, Java, that kind of place where it's known as just Cape gauge. Africa has a lot of stuff that ran in those sort of gauges, but in the UK, really the Isle of Man is probably the big bastion. I would think that would be something somebody would have to produce a full self-contained system. So you'd need the locomotives, you'd need the coaches, and some other rolling stock.
So we're
as well.
basically looking at the potential for a box set and nothing else. It's not going to sell, is it?
Double M Dave says 00N3 is the scale using 12mm TT gauge tracks to represent 3 foot gauge.
Okay.
Oh, right. RG Models 86 says Bachmann were planning to produce the Skarloey Railway equivalent of Douglas. Oh, it's just gone off the top. Can you help me out here?
Sure.
This is what happens when you rely on Zoe. She doesn't bother looking what's going on. But they cancelled it due to production costs. However, I do wonder whether they would bring one out for the narrow gauge range. Again, it's one which, upscaled to NG7, otherwise known as 016.5, would definitely also be a good one. Double M Dave says, I have a bunch of 3 foot locos. One is from the 1950s. There were a few iron ore railways, I believe, built to 3 foot or 3 foot 6. So they were out there, but just quite rare. Of course, over in Ireland, there were extensive things like the Donegal railways. But I've just been given the hurry up. We're going to be opening
not a hurry up.
the mystery box from Sawyer Models that the Cupboard Monkey has been
sent. So this is to do with our little question on. Go on.
Hold on, just this one last comment on what we were talking about before. Raymond Legg says, I'm glad my Eve model package is lost. I don't have to pay the tariff if it never shows, although I bought it before the tariff turned up.
They should be grandfathering that in.
The problem is it does feel like almost like it's just
almost like he hasn't thought it through.
Yeah, like it's thought up that morning and blurted out on the social media group.
So what we've got here is part of our question of are mystery boxes good or bad?
Yeah,
because there's always that feeling, isn't there?
I think one of the things I've seen said about mystery boxes, some people said, "Oh, it's just the rubbish that doesn't sell."
Yeah.
And actually, I beg to differ. I've had them from Sawyer Models, I've had them from Maltz Models, and I had them from Rocket Railways before now. And every single one of them, actually, I got good stuff in there. Stuff that I could use, and that came to far more than the ticket price for the bag.
Oxford Rail. I always pick up an Oxford Rail bag of things, except at Key Model World, where I saw it, was about to, got distracted, and never got back.
New Junction. Look at you. Says, I bet it's an Iron Horse fart. You saying that this is a fart in the box?
Well, let's
from
find
Sawyer
out, shall
Models. We? So this is N gauge,
so
I believe.
Let's find out. Is it a fart in the box?
Oh, I bet Craig went there and told his sponsors, out of the way, I've got a live one here, and then just chucked it in the box, sealed up. Apparently, Trump has put tariffs on tariffs.
Valley's 56XX says he's had an Oxford mystery box that was pretty much what he would have bought at full price. Yeah, absolutely.
And can I just say, I mean, some of the things here, this came out of an Oxford diecast mystery box, and this is the sort of stuff I would have. But
and so did that. Jen was so overawed when this showed up in one of
the
their first
Jaguar
ones.
from Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Now, what I'd say about this is I bought one of these for the filming of Great Model Railway Challenge for our Dr. Evil's Volcano Lair layout. And I gave it to one of the other people who were there because they were like, "Oh,
Simon
I really
Martin.
want." It was Simon A.C. Martin, and he really, really wanted it. So I said, "Look, there you go, you have that." And I've been looking for one since, and there it was in the mystery box. So you do quite often get what you really want. Anyway, come on.
The second one.
What's in the box?
The second one I ever bought at Oxford Rail. Craig was so enamoured by one of the military things, I just gave him it there and then. Yeah. I remember that.
And I got, because sometimes you get across different scales. We're quite lucky.
Oh, yeah.
You get the N gauge, I get the double O and HO. And the O gauge,
it
we
sits
have
nicely
for the
on
garden.
display. So we've got a lovely thing here. Enjoy your mystery box. That's nice. Thank you,
To the
Sawyer
mystery
Models.
machine. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, the mystery machine in disguise.
As an unmarked transit van.
No, it's the VW Love Bug.
Unmarked windowless van.
Yes.
It's a mystery what goes on in there.
Yes. That smells awfully like weed in the back. Because how else would the dog appear to be talking?
Okay, so, Jen.
Are we stringing this out?
Have a go. Have a pull out and let's see what's in.
Right, first up, Graham Farish bus. That's actually pretty good.
That looks an awful lot like the Blanky.
Bristol RELH Bristol Greyhound.
This looks like the Blanky. For those of you who aren't from the northeast, Blenkinsop's buses was a local private charter bus.
Iron Horse Railway says a pre-soiled passion wagon. It's like when I see second-hand described as pre-loved, all I can think is somebody did unspeakable things in their bedroom to it.
So yes, Blenkinsop's buses. They used to do the route from Bourburn through Coxer up to West Cornforth.
You have to be some local person.
Yes, these are all villages in Durham, and we used to call it the Blanky. There was also TMS, which we called Tom's Monkey Church.
We've got some test tube cleaners.
No, these are N-gauge.
I know what they are.
Oh, they're going to go well on the box file, which we need to. To come to next week.
One thing at a time.
Come on. No, I'm just saying next week. Yeah.
So we've got actually some telegraph poles, always useful.
They're going to be very useful on the industrial layout as well.
What I suggest with these, black weathering wash brings out the detail. Tones them down. These are nice. What have we got? Figure set, homeless people figure set, but they're ready painted.
Oh, Gauge Master, you do ready painted and gauge. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I think they commission them from either Knock or Prizer.
Okay, they're going to be very useful.
Oh, and then a wagon. So there we are, Daypole N-gauge Southern Railway 7-plank wagon. These aren't bad actually. They're not a bad little wagon. And is that everything?
That's everything from the box.
So what's in the box, and how much would one of these boxes cost?
I don't know. Andy Fryer's Junction will be in the chat at some point, no doubt, because that's Sawyer Models. Now, he can tell you.
Namer Gamer YT and Locoman 123 are arriving and suggesting there's a degree of lateness.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Leslie Gilpin Railway suggests you need a Ribble bus with a shop at Bins on the back. Oh, do you remember Bins? Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to put them out tomorrow.
Andy Fryer's Junction says £10 for a mystery box. So all this
10
for
quid
a tenner.
Sorry, hang on. That's £9 on its own.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, and these figures, these are really good figures actually. So for an N-gauge modeller, you got figures, a wagon, a bus, telegraph poles, and some pine trees. That's not bad.
So you've got scenery, and you've got something to run amid the scenery.
Yeah,
I like that.
Ready painted figures are normally quite expensive. I've been looking at quite a few of the Prizer and Knock ones, and they can be quite expensive. So there we go. There's what's in the box. I just having a look. JL Railway says, Zoe, that 7-plank will go great with the SR van you got from me. Oh
yes,
yeah.
Yes, it will.
Growler Blackwood N-gauge layout says must check out Gauge Master for the painted figures. Yes, their new website has just gone live. Now, there seems to be some kind of tech bro activity because the
There's
old...
always tech bro activity.
Yeah, they took the old one offline before the new one was ready.
Oh, for goodness sake.
I don't know what that was about.
Gauge Master.
Yeah, that was silly, Billy. But that's now online. I've been looking through the Nock and Prizer. They're pretty much the biggest range in the UK. And just remember that your local model shop will be able to get any of these. You can support your local retailer as well because Gauge Master also wholesale a lot of these. Scanman, hello from Montana. I'm doing the hand signal and the camera can't see me.
Hello. Jen.
Yes?
What's this?
It
appears to be someone who's in a bin.
Yes, it's the homeless people. Read the thing.
It's a guy in a box or in a bin.
Yeah. Scanman is late, Gandalf.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. I'm just wondering, Scanman, have you seen any changes in the US with the introduction of these tariffs? Has it really started to bite in terms of new models coming through?
Yeah, because we were talking earlier on about the message that had gone out from a lot of the what was it? The joint message from most of the manufacturers.
Yeah, there was like a big statement with all of the different manufacturers, pretty much saying the same thing. Right, where's he gone? Tanith Veloquist says he's not the only one who's late. Oh, well, he's
a Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
The True North, strong and free, says, I'm glad I'm Canadian. I can imagine, yeah. Paul O'Donovan says, greetings from Ireland. DCC125 put up excellent videos of Bristol Model Railway Show on YouTube.
Excellent.
Yes, of course, the big Bristol event's been on.
Yes.
Ravenheart Modelling says, where's the nearest model railway shop to Snowdon? Porthmadog Models doesn't seem to do railway things. There is a model shop, from what I remember, in the Festiniog Railway shop at Porthmadog. But it does
focus... not very near Snowdon, though, is it?
It does focus very much on narrow gauge. Is there a model shop in Bala? I think there might also be one in Colwyn Bay or Rhyl. I don't know. I think, was it Hippo Models in Colwyn Bay or Rhyl? Could well be. There are some out there, but unfortunately they are a bit few and far between. Martin P says the iron ore mines in Furness were about that gauge. I think we're talking about the 3-foot gauge. Aberystwyth has a model shop, I believe, says Double M Dave. And there is one in Rutland, says Richard Knowles. Excellent. And yes, the Growler Blackwood N-gauge layout says everyone give Jenny a thumbs up. Oh, thank you so much. Don't forget to like this video and also consider sharing it to social media and let other people know about the Monday Club and all the great fun and information and stuff that we do here. And if you haven't already done so, then do subscribe to the channel. It's getting harder and harder to get subs these days on YouTube.
This N-gauge thing has ballast in it.
Well. Peter Jackson Chile Heath says Rutland Models is Lord Al's model shop. Jacob's Train says, Jenny, did you enjoy the NEC? I had a thrill as an exhibitor on the Yorkshire Coast Electric Tramway. Oh, gosh, yes. Yeah, we had a great time. We're only there for the Dave. It's for the Dave.
We're only there for the Dave.
However, you can tell what I was scanning ahead on. March West Junction TMD and 37 Dave says there's a nice model shop in Bettersecoid, which is the other one I was thinking of, but I couldn't think of the name. But there we go. No shops in or around Holyhead that I know of, though, says Ham Shackleton. Mona Models in... Oh, let's take a running jump and try it. Llanfairth, Pwthgwyn, Gogeri, Hindro, really, Silio, go. Just don't mention the YouTuber Simon Wilson in that shop. As the Simon Trains Mother Owen Showcase. Why? What have you done?
What have you done, dude? What have you done? Will they Hulk out?
And yeah, Iron Horse Railways, absolutely. People don't sub as much these days. It's due to the nature of how video is consumed. Short format is to blame. Absolutely.
Not just short format, but I'll tell you now, the algorithm is great at putting recommended stuff on the front page that you want to see.
I must admit, there's a few channels I watch religiously. I realised I'm not actually subscribed to them.
It's very easy to not.
Yeah. Oh, Richard Knowles, of course, yes. The other model shop nearest here is, of course, the Chester Model Centre. Not been there since the days of Model Zone. Great shop. It was independent before, got absorbed into the Model Zone empire, and then kind of bought itself out of Model Zone when everything went tits up. Flammo Chairman once says TNC site says there are only 4 O-gauge Monday Club wagons left. Thank you for sharing that link. Yeah, there's only 4 left of those. However, it's still, well, it was still saying 10 plus for the double O gauge.
So there's at least 11 of those.
All we know is there's at least 11. Iron Horse Railway says, subscribe, you peasants!
That's a lovely way to get people interested. Thank you.
Yeah, Richard Knowles says, by the way, if Peach is in the chat tonight, tell him I've decided to give TT120 another go.
Hooray!
Yay! And thank you, Flammo1 for sharing a link to the wagons. Right, anyway, so we're going to be doing some live figure painting. So should we angle the camera down? If we'd have thought about this, we should have put the spare camera in and actually used that on the models, but we didn't think about that.
No, we didn't.
So instead, you're going to have to do without my ugly mush on screen. So I'm just going to change the angle there. And shall we just move the camera down so that... Not too far, otherwise you won't see anything. So the Cupboard Monkey is going to be preparing to paint Laurel and Hardy with their piano. These are figures from Buggle Skelly Station.
Yes, I picked them up at Key Model World Line. I already had a set, which I don't know where they are.
I have seen them about. They come and go. And I think they're in the back room. But however, so Buggle Skelly Station, Tom Marshall there, friend of the channel, great guy.
Lovely guy.
Great products, and these are one of them. So these are going to go on Minith Tatus Newith. You'll have to look out for them when Minith Tatus Newith is doing its exhibition debut at the Bluebell Model Railway Show at the end of June. Also, if you can't get to that, but you're in the north, don't forget that the Freising Hall Model Railways, I think they're in Pudsey, just north of Bradford these days. They used to be in Freising Hall. They've kept the name, but moved location. It's their birthday bash. So they've got an open day on the Saturday. DCC Concepts will be there.
Happy birthday to you. Squash tomatoes and stew. Bread and butter in the gutter. Happy birthday to you.
Yes, Richard Swiderski says, that's another fine mess, Jenny. Roof-de-toot, roof-de-toot.
Right, so what I've got here is I've painted them all in black, but I've dry brushed this in white as well to highlight certain parts. So what I'm going to do now is a much, much heavier dry brush onto the black and white parts to try and get an appearance that it's wood, but it'll be different shades. I'm just taking a load of the paint off the brush, and now let's get straight into it. So I'm going to just hold down to give it a woody look to it.
So, sorry, what was the base coat on there? Have you actually got a base coat?
The base coat is black, and all of this is acrylics. Right. Now, I happen to be using Citadel acrylics.
Because that's your thing.
Because they're brilliant.
Because you're into Warcrack.
Well, yeah,
real crack would be cheaper.
They dry very quickly.
What have you done with my scalpel there?
The texture's lovely, and it gives a hell of a finish.
So it also
already it's starting to look browner. How's that, Jen?
Perfect. Right.
You didn't even look.
I'm busy.
I could have shown her a big painting of a huge pair of bazonkadonks, and she would have gone, lovely.
No. Right, anyway, so I'm just trying to open the box. This is from Model U. They have very, very kindly sent some figures. I got a message saying, do you want any figures for Minith Tatus Newith? So it's like, yeah, thank you so much. So we're going to have a look at these. I'd also like to have a great mention as well to, where's it gone?
Very nice already.
They're not here because I've actually painted them up and used them. Did you bring up the TT120 ones that they gave?
They're sat ready for me to pick up.
Yeah, look,
I
no
will
worries.
bring them up.
So I just want to show you this. This is from Northumbrian Painting Services.
We were sat next to those guys at an event last year, and they came on the show during one of the live streams that we were doing with TMC, and they were very nice.
Yeah, really great. Oh, that would have been at Getz, I think.
Yeah, from my neck of the woods.
So, can I just say, their figures are white metal, and one of the things actually which I found really useful about those is if you're wanting to put ballast into particularly narrow gauge is very prone to not being weighty enough. Actually using white metal crew figures or white metal passengers in the coaches is a really great way of providing ballast weight as well as some degree of occupation. So I actually painted these up, and these have gone on to Mynydd Tatws Newydd to weight down one of the smaller locomotives, and it's just a really great way of adding some adhesive weight without it being obvious what you've done. Plus, you get a crew. So,
so right now I've almost finished. I'll just throw the brush away. I've almost finished this, and the advantage of using the Citadel acrylics is they dry incredibly quickly. Very quick drying paints.
So we've had a few latecomers.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons.
Hurry up.
Nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Right, it's gone off the top, Gandalf. See, you didn't let me speak. So,
sorry, did you want to speak?
I wanted to read.
You should have said
comment.
so.
Yeah, well, I tried to.
Well, you weren't very good at it, were you?
Right, okay. Michael Sarsfield says, if anyone has seen the 009 layout called Cliffhanger, I did all the figures on it. Ooh, excellent.
I think I have seen that. It was very nice.
Yeah, Name a Gamer YT says, please could you sing Happy Birthday for my son Bobby? He will love it. Let me know if you can, and I will call him out. So he's in the room, ready. Many thanks. He will be 11 on Saturday. So let's
get him into the room then.
Get him in the room. Come on. Get it. I bet he's just parked himself on the throne.
I don't want to think about thrones. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Squash tomatoes and stew. Bread and butter in the gutter. Happy birthday to you.
And that's for Bobby, who will be 11 on Saturday. Oh, my word.
Oh,
yeah.
Getting all grown up. That's not right.
Yeah.
Making your parents feel
so
old.
If you could scroll it back down.
What? You asked me to scroll. Come on.
Peter Jackson Chidle here says, I got a mystery box off Northwestern Models which had a lot of white metal figures in. Pity I can't find it now. They are pretty good, actually. I used Humbrol enamels to paint mine.
I got a mystery box off the Taxman once, but it just had a set of tax forms in it. I was very upset.
RG Models 86 says, if you want to add weight to rolling stock, try Deluxe Materials Liquid Gravity, all the weight of lead without the toxicity.
Liquid Gravity. I love that name. I love it.
I like Deluxe Materials products. Right, anyway, scroll down a little bit.
Are you sure?
Yeah. So are we at the bottom yet? Come on. Name a Gamer YT says, oh, he absolutely loved you two singing him a happy birthday. He laughed with your birthday song version. Oh, that's great.
Excellent.
So anyway, going back to what model you have sent over, we've got some birds here. We've got crows.
Tweet, tweet.
We've got pigeons. Coo, coo. Mainline Hunslet crew.
Tweet, tweet.
No. And we've got an angler.
Oink.
So these are all going to be dotted around on Mynydd Tatws Newydd. So
you do realise you just put this ongler right in my paint?
No, I didn't, but there we go.
So, this is now... I've got... it's black on the sides.
That's kind of quite nice, actually.
But it's brown on the front, top and back. And I need to give it a time to dry before I can do the sides. It won't take long. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to mix up some of this. Yeah. This is Wraithbone, which is...
Love that.
It's basically ivory. And it will work really well for faces and jackets. Shirts.
Aaronville says, hello all. Have I missed much?
Yes.
Yes, you have. We've done I don't know. Watch it back afterwards.
A Monday clubber was never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to put the little white feet on this fox. Is this a model U fox?
You're going to put some socks on that fox?
Yeah, whatever. Is this a model U fox from before? We never got around to finishing.
It is.
So,
well, as I am doing...
See, Zoe prefers to use acrylics, whilst I am still...
Oh, you're a major, major fan of the enamels.
Yeah, I'm stuck in the past because...
I wouldn't say that. Why would you prefer the enamels, babe?
I think it's a case of... It's a very British thing to say, but because I've always used enamels.
Well, so you're familiar with them and you know exactly how it works.
Yeah, and I think as well it's safe to say that, once you're used to something, you get good effects with it. And I've got a massive collection of enamels. I'm quite happy. For as long as my enamels still are usable, I don't actually see any reason to move on. I get good coverage. I like them. Yeah, I understand the advantages of acrylics, but, I don't see any reason to get rid of my enamels. I do occasionally still buy new ones.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what I was trying to get at. So you have your things that work for you. I have things that work for me.
Yeah.
I've used enamels in the past and they're very good, but I like acrylic for its range of possibilities.
So I've just put the little feet, I say the feet, the kind of the boots, the white boots on
Socks,
the fox.
they're called.
So that has been done and dusted. These little posable clamp things really useful for this kind of work. Your trucks are wobbling all over those inside points. Yeah, they do that. It's the it's because it's code 100 and they kind of dip into the frog. Best of luck painting all the birds, says Michael Sarsfield. They're a nightmare on the eye. I've done them. Nomad Railway says, keeping well, glad to say, thanks. Oh, excellent, good to see you in. Now, I'm just debating, do I tackle a mini-me or do I go for a pack of birds? I'm actually inclined to go for...
Right, I've done a terrible job of these hands.
I'm going to go for the angler, actually.
And you know what? It doesn't matter. This is one major thing, which is why I wanted to do stuff like this on the show.
Yeah. I'll just say... I'm going to be doing the Model U Angler. So this is...
You're doing an angler?
I'm just looking for a catalogue code. So it's Angler, Town and Country, Male Angler. Not sure which is the code. I think that might be it. 1668-076. So I'm just going to get it out of the bag. And wow, look at the rod on that. So it's actually really quite slender. This is going to be interesting to actually remove the... there's like a kind of a scaffolding which supports everything. This is going to be a bit of a toughie.
Just don't do what I did with the Ghostbusters and accidentally cut the Proton Pack's power line.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. So I'm going to very carefully remove some of the scaffolding.
So he's got his hands now painted, and the reason I'm doing these completely white is because I happen to have a secret weapon.
Do you?
Yes, I've got a shader that will shade this white into skin tone.
I thought it might be some kind of Scud missile.
Now, it shades the white into a lovely skin tone, which gives definition and proper look to him.
Yeah.
I'm doing this as quick as I can.
You can tell I'm not massively used to dealing with 3D printed figures. I've done either... I remember the good old days of do you remember the Airfix figures? So they were injection molded plastic, had very little detail. By the time I was buying them, the tooling was so long in the tooth, you had flash. So it was like people looked like they had a Mohican because there was this flash all across the top of the head. And I dare say some people, some ingenious people, did use them as like punk rockers, making use of the flash as the hair, but that wasn't the look I was going for, it must be said.
Right, there he is. So there's Stan Laurel, and I have to give absolute 100% props to Buggles Kelly, he's done a hell of a job with those figures.
Absolutely. Now, Eclectic Train says, hello there, sorry I'm late.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. So we're doing a little bit of...
Citadel Pates have some daft names. Yes, and Sarah Davies says they used to be dafter. Snot Green, Scab Red. These days, this ivory one is Wraithbone.
Yeah, which is basically if you were wanting much the same colour in the Humbrol range, you just go for number 41 ivory.
This one here is Rakarth Flesh, which comes out really nicely as a kind of darkened ivory or very, very light brown. This is the kind of woody colour that you would get if you were doing the insides of a thing, wouldn't it, Jen? An inside of a wagon?
Actually, yes.
For wood that has just been bleached white with the sun.
Actually, yeah, I'd go with that. That might actually be the perfect colour. It's one of the really difficult things. When you're painting wagons, then it's really, really difficult to actually get a good colour for the inside of a wooden wagon.
Yes.
Buggles Skelly Station does some great figures and buildings.
It really
says
does.
Richard Swidowski. Absolutely. Sarah Davis says, surprisingly, Scab Red matches up with Star Trek Command Red, which is ironic because they get covered in scabs after the red shirt has beamed down and died to show the situation is serious.
If you die and you're not going to scab up much.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they'd sit there going, "Ah," for a bit.
Yes, they usually disappear in a special effect to show that the situation is serious.
That was the thing. Phasers just a phaser set to like maximum setting just completely vaporizes the target, so they didn't have to bother with makeup.
It shakes and flakes and bakes.
Yeah, the other thing as well, I guess, is it kept them sweet with the sensor.
Yeah, you don't have to worry because the guy's not there anymore. So is he bleeding out all over the place and scaring the kids? No, he's just gone.
Yeah, right. I'm still actually nibbling away the supports on these.
Meanwhile, I've almost painted Oliver Hardy now.
You're pretty good. See, this is a bit of a roll. Oh, thank you so much, Mike Ray. Very kindly donated $4.99 on the Super Chat for more chocolate-covered custard creams.
Oh,
my favourite biscuit by far. They were incredible. Marks and Spencer's.
Yes.
And it said outrageously chocolatey. I remember saying...
And they were.
Yeah, I said, I'll be the judge of that. And you know what? I went,
right.
Yes,
thank you so much. Thank you.
That's really generous.
So we're getting there with this. So this is live painting and...
yeah, well, we've done the opening of the special... mystery box.
So what I've got to ask is regarding the mystery boxes. We think that I think we've all had good points from a mystery box, but where did this reputation come from?
Yeah, so who's actually had a bad experience from a mystery box? And I don't mean like going, oh well, I can't use any of this.
Because that's just the
that's just luck of the draw. But anybody thought like, oh, this stuff is garbage, and it's then a little bit of a loaded term because I think some people go, oh, this is garbage. It's all N-gauge, but I'm model 00. It's like, yeah, but the stuff's not garbage per se. It's like if it's stuff that's not worth the money, or you think it's just tat or something like that. I don't know. I'm just curious. Simon Train's Motherwell showcases honestly wouldn't try a mystery box.
That's fair enough. If it's not for you, it's not for you.
Absolutely. Martin Shipman says, I enjoy watching paint dry. Very calming. Where's that straggler from the clowns when you need him?
Yeah.
So I'm going to... I envisage... what do they call it? The barber wax jacket. What colour do you think a barber wax jacket would be?
A what?
The wax jackets that them country folk often
green.
Wear. Yeah, I'm going to say matte number 102. I'm going to use matte 103 for flesh because my matte natural flesh went a bit hard. So I'm down I think it's number 65. So we're improvising a little bit.
The guys that used to go angling around where I lived, if they were going to wear anything, it was khaki green.
And I've got matte number 186 for the brown. No, I think that's
186.
I need a lighter color. I'm going to go matte 26.
Right, there's Stan and Ollie.
That's another fine mess you've got me into.
There you go. So their suits are just black.
Yeah, with their black tie, black suits, and white shirts.
Yeah.
So
but you'll see what I mean in a moment when I paint the shader onto them. They'll get a flesh look.
Flesh.
So I've got that done now. So I'm going to put my tiny brush away.
Hold on, we've got a dad joke in the chat. Richard Gruter says the thing with painted figures, if they get cold, you can put another coat on. Yes. Mystery boxes are fun, says Michael Sarsfield. You never know what you will find. Yeah.
Simon Train says, worded it wrong. Meant to say I wouldn't mind giving one a go. Yeah, there's a fair amount of good stuff. I just want to know where this reputation that shops use them.
Read out some of the comments. There's quite a few comments coming in.
Mystery boxes are fun. Never know what you'll find. I found mystery bags and mixed bag. Probably wouldn't get another, says Krista. Fair enough.
I think it's also it's like I'm curious where you've got the mystery bags from, just to get a sense of what's out there and what you thought about them. So
because I've found nothing bad in a mystery box from this hobby, but I'm limited to this hobby.
Yeah.
So it does make me wonder: are there some companies out there that are using them?
I'm going to turn another light on, and the reason for this is our eyeballs are a little bit on the old side, so you can imagine the batteries have run down a little bit.
So like I'm saying, there's got to be someone out there that gave these mystery bags a reputation, because someone's used them to dump unsellable stock.
If anybody's wondering, it's tiny. This is actually a Humbrol number 2 brush from Airfix, and I'm just I've mixed up the tin quite well, given it a good shake. It has been used recently, if you're wondering why I didn't really give it too much of the beans. And what I'm doing is I'm painting his waders and his jacket in the green, and I think quite often the choice of colour is quite important with these.
Needs to dry now. So there's Stan and Ollie, and I've turned the black base coated thing into brown.
And actually, I've just decided I'm going to just paint the full thing with the green, and I'm going to treat this actually like an undercoat.
Yeah, use your major colour as the base.
With enamels, you can do this. With acrylics, sometimes you do find that you need a kind of a grey or a white, a specific undercoat. But with enamels...
My rule of thumb for an acrylic undercoat is, if you know you're going to be using a lot of colours that need to be dark, then use a black for your base coat for the undercoat. But if you need a lot of colours to pop out with a lot of lighter parts, use a white base for the undercoat. Because that way the paints will interact, because regardless of what you do, because it's acrylic and therefore watered down a little bit as you paint, you're going to get some of the effects through from the previous paint layer.
I think as well that sometimes if there's like almost like a coating on the plastic, that can...
Sarah says, I visited a mystery box in a church once. I had to confess to that. Some wargaming mystery boxes I've bought have turned out really useful for items for model railways. I suppose, yeah, because there's all kinds of equipment you can use.
So who's doing the wargaming ones? I mean, obviously...
That's Michael Starsfield who says that.
I'm just wondering whether that's something you're getting from model shops or whether you're going to, like, wargaming shops.
Now, here's an interesting thing. Ben Tullett says he thinks Rocket Railways started the idea of the mystery box being as the way we see them, because when they were trading, they did fill boxes with used items that they couldn't easily sell in stores.
Yeah, I mean, I had a Rocket Railways mystery box, and I seem to recall some of the stuff that was in there was older paints that they weren't allowed to sell, but were still liquid and usable. And I know some people would probably poo-poo going, oh, somebody's second-hand paint. But I actually got some of the old Formula Humbrol enamels.
Yes, you were quite happy with it.
Yeah, because I got the formula that's good. I got the good stuff. And for me, that's like the holy grail. A formulation of tin from the 1980s. You know you're going to get great coverage. So I was really over the moon with that. But I can understand that some people might feel a little bit conned.
A little bit like, oh, you're using me to get rid of stuff you can't sell. Yeah.
Ormston Breckenbeater asks, are Rocket Railway still in business? I'm not sure. I know that there was a bit of something went on. I honestly don't know. Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath says, I bought a Model U mystery box at Key Model World Live, N-gauge figures and things, passed it to Dan Everson for painting. Nice. I can't paint N-gauge seagulls. Yes, Dan Everson does an amazing job. He was actually doing painting there at the event. You do pay extra, he doesn't work for free, but he
no one should expect people to.
Yeah, but he does do an amazing job. So the fisherman, actually, I'm just going to leave him a little bit for that first coat of green to dry. Right. I think I might do his waders in the brown, but leave his wellies in the green.
Right. Well, now that Stan has...
Is that another fine mess?
No, has dried. What I've got here is something that I think Citadel do incredibly. And I know that a few other paint manufacturers are doing the similar sort of thing. This is a shader. It's incredibly watered down pigment. It's more like a stain than a standard paint. And I'm going to go over the white flesh to give it a shade of pink.
Right. Darren Watson says, good evening, everyone. Sorry I'm late.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. And Charlie Chimp says, I had a mystery box from HMV a few years ago for a tenner. Had some cool stuff in it.
I always avoided the HMV ones because
I didn't even know they were doing them.
Because I know they had so many Funko Pops and I just didn't want any.
What? Sorry?
Funko Pops.
What the heck are those?
You know those box-shaped people that are all caricatures that all look the bloody same?
Oh, they're like bobblehead type things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them. So
they tried branching out into many things.
Yeah, because no one was buying videos anymore. Right. So
but vinyl LPs is where it's at.
Yeah, in the 70s. Yeah.
Shut up. No, vinyl's back. Vinyl's king, baby.
Yes, guess who's back again.
Yeah, I'm just trimming off a mini me. I don't know. Should I paint a mini me next, or there's a part of me actually thinking, why am I wasting time on a mini me when? No offense to Model U, and there should be 2 different versions of mini me available from Model U, so do check it out. I'm going to go for pigeons.
You go down.
Oh wait, crows are black, aren't they? So yes. if I do a base coat of black on the crows, then then
dry brush over them with this kind of greyish colour.
So I'm just going to. Oh, I see what you mean with these bad boys. I'm just going to paint the lot black, and then we'll come back to these. So I'm just going to get the black agitated. Could do with like a little machine for shaking paints, like you get with the big cans of paint for automotive stuff. Griffey says base coat a crow in blue and then use a black wash.
Oh yes, right, they are. Because
blue?
Of the shader paint, Stan now has flesh colour instead of white face. Oh, look at that, Beb.
Excellent.
Yes.
So what shade of blue, incidentally, would we be looking
I would go for a navy, if possible. Or perhaps a little bit
like
darker.
A midnight blue?
Midnight blue would be amazing, yes.
Which would have been, I think, Humbrol number 16. And I can tell you now, it's one that I don't have because I did have it as a kid, but for some reason it's not made it through. I've got lilac. That's an unusual. The thing about Humbrol enamels is they're really good for greys, whites, blacks, and browns.
Perhaps, Jen, this is
and
an
greens.
opportunity for you to try acrylics.
I don't know. What about that colour? It's more of a grey.
No, you want a blue. That is grey.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me get my second tin. No, I'm determined to keep it old school, kids. I'm going to just change the angle of the dangle. So be ready there, Zoe.
Stan and Ollie are now painted.
Okay. Oh, lovely. Oh, wait a minute. What about that blue? Is that?
Yeah, that'll work.
Oh, hold on. Got it. French blue. Is that it?
Yeah.
So, actually, Humbrol number 25, if anybody's interested. Actually, there are a few blues here. I'm looking at it. I didn't think I had a lot of blues. But in terms of different blues available from the Humbrol range, I'm not done too bad. Oh, and that's RAF blue. That's very useful.
But not for what you're doing.
Not for what I'm doing. No, I will go with that. So I'm just rummaging through. What have I actually got in here?
Right, well, I'm done. I can't do anything else until they're dry. And shaders take about an hour. Because they're mostly water-based stains.
Well, I'll tell you what you need to
Iron
do.
Horse says physical media is coming back as people are getting tired of getting used to subscribing service and having your service downgraded and a plus version offered.
Yes.
Yeah, for what you used to get. I absolutely understand
that. And then they
that.
go, oh, it turns out all those films you paid for, you can't have them anymore.
Oh, tell me about it. Physical media will never completely disappear. I hope not, because I like it. So.
Oh, somebody's gifted memberships. Can you go back?
Oh my goodness!
Sorry, we completely missed that. So where is that? That's some time. Oh, there we are. So
Simon Snow, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Simon Snow. Sorry we missed that. We were so engrossed with painting.
So Gavin Blackburn, Summer Breeze Model Railways, Southern Train Girl, Andrew Bettis, Melchester Model Railways, Steve Kendall, Rob, Dan Parsons and DJ Hayes. They've all received a membership.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Now, I say, whenever people gift memberships, I'm always curious about the names of the people lurking. I always wonder whether I'm going to see some like big name YouTubers, whether it like Sam's Trains has been gifted a membership. Like, oh, I was trying to be incognito.
It's a possibility.
Who knows?
But you can turn off the ability to be gifted membership. So if you really want to
can you?
Yeah, if you really want to be incognito, you can just turn that off and then you
I wonder whether, Charlie, is that what you're doing? Are you keeping like super low profile?
Or you just not it?
Yeah.
There's a possibility that people just aren't watching, Jen, you know that.
Yeah. Right, so I'm going to do that trick that's been recommended. Blue, then with a black wash. So I'm going to use this. Humbrol number 25. It's a matte colour. And you can see by the tin, this is a 1990s vintage tin.
Oh, I remember that.
So I'm hoping that means that this is still the good formula. Generally they are.
The good stuff.
The good stuff.
Oh, they're good stuff.
So
you haven't been... Oh, you've got your own water thing, yeah.
It's not water, for obvious reasons, because this is oil base.
Yeah.
So I'm going to paint all of these a blue colour. So all of it's going to be blue.
I used this technique on a Griffhound for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and it gives an amazing colour. But it's then recommended you go in and dry brush highlights on the edges of wings. I don't think there'll be a necessity for O gauge, but
these are not O gauge.
What are they? TT120?
No, they're 00. These are for Minith tattoos. Which is 009, which is the same scale.
That's what I meant. Sorry, 00. So I don't think it's going to be a necessity with 00 because of the size. But if you ever want to try and highlight wings, a slight dry brushing is a great idea with a much lighter tone.
This is a lovely colour.
Are there videos tonight? There will be. We're only at 8:10 though, so you know.
Oh wow, good. Already?
Yeah.
That time has gone
Time flies
quickly.
when you're painting Stan and Ollie. So there you go. We've now got some...
Yeah, so after the stream, I'm going to go and put I'm suddenly going to put the fox on. I'm really pleased. I've got the fox.
I'm just going to go to the overhead camera only.
Yeah, okay.
To try and get this out. So there, Stan and Ollie. They started off with white ivory faces, and then I've stained with the pink, or crimson, the faces to highlight features, and it seems to have come out rather well.
So they're all painted
look at
blue.
how that.
They've come out really well, actually.
Yeah.
I must admit, I was dubious at how those would turn. I quite like this blue. I'll be honest with you.
That's going to look good, but you're going to have to wait for a long time for it to do.
Yeah, I see. I'm looking at this guy and thinking he might actually get a blue jacket because I really like this blue. I was going to see how it dries. And what you find with the older enamels, so like 1990s formula and before, is that the matte ones really do dry really nice and matte. But the newer formula are very hit and miss. And they're almost like they'll dry a satin finish. I've not had great luck with modern formula matte paints from Humbrol. So sorry, Hornby, but yeah, understand they've made illegal some of the good chemicals. Right, there's going to be a banging noise.
Do you often just hammer directly onto the roads that you've painstakingly laid down?
Oh no, but underneath that is solid wood. And if anybody's wondering, what I'm actually doing there is I'm using a tiny hammer to tap the lid down, and then, little hot tip for you, turn the tin over, like squeeze it, so just in case the lid doesn't fall out.
Yeah.
And then that's put a coat of paint on the underside of the lid, which should seal it. And there we go, all done.
This, on the other hand,
Richard Gruter says the new ones don't have a health warning. Yeah, which means they've not got the good stuff in it. Yeah, I think it was xylene that they used to contain.
I'm going to say that this is finished, and I don't need to do a wash over that or anything.
Harp House Holt says, I bought a Humbrol £50 bonus box and received about 60 quid's worth of paint and some brushes.
Nice.
Excellent. And yes, Richard Swiderski, I'd go with that. The newer paints need a lot of stirring to mix it properly. I found sometimes as well, it's like they're not being mixed properly at the factory. So you'll get some tins and it's like very, very jelly-like, and then others it's very watery. John James
here.
Oh, hello, PGT120 with late.
A Monday clubber is never late, Peachy. Nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Actually,
You're welcome.
I tell you what I needed to paint in the blue. I'm going back in. I'm painting my top in blue. I love this colour so much. It's like I want
you're going to have a blue top, are you?
I want to paint
while you're doing that, I'm going to start
blue.
up. I'm going to start up
yeah.
prepping for the stoofs.
Yeah.
Because we need to prep for stoofs.
Oh, this is a beautiful colour.
So it's been a very interesting evening. We've had some actual modelling.
Well, yeah.
Double M Dave says, all the things you're talking about have happened to me in my Humbrol paints. This is why I don't get them anymore. To be fair, every paint manufacturer has their own particular issues.
I think the problem is that the stuff that for a very long time has been used as the materials to make paints, often in some cases for hundreds of years, has suddenly been outlawed. And it's like, there's this new normal where you have to adjust, like, well, what do we use then?
Well, it became problematic, shall we say, on the grounds that actually it was killing people.
Well, I don't think it was killing people. I mean, they weren't that bad,
interesting.
But they weren't deemed to be particularly good for you to breathe and stuff. So there we are. I love that blue, actually.
That's looking quite good.
What
I would do is take all the stuff off your brush, dry your brush, and then just move that paint around a little bit because it's kind of clumpy around under the arms. That's my only thing. That's all I'd say. It hasn't happened on the birds, from what I can see. It hasn't happened on the angler, but it's a little bit on you.
You're saying I had...
Probably because of the spray that we've got. For the primer.
No, I think it's just the way the 3D print is. It looks like it's... Yeah, it's not...
It doesn't look like it's got definition, that's all I'm saying. Right, so what we've got first up from Kaylee Whitehurst is...
Whoa, what the hell?
Oh, what's happened? How long's that been stopped?
No, it just happened now.
Oh, that's okay then. I thought I noticed. There we go. So, yeah. RG Models 86 says, unfortunately, the ingredients that make good paints are bad for human health. Yes.
Yeah, you think.
Kaylee Whitehurst has said she's a Railcam subscriber and has seen something interesting running on the NYMR.
North Yorkshire Moors Railway.
Yes. Excellent. If we could press this button here.
Hit the lever. Where's my
beep,
little
beep.
thing which goes over the... There it is.
Jen.
Yes. Oh, it's
That's
the
a bit
Northeastern
different.
Railway rail car. I do
Yeah.
have that in model form. Somewhere in one of those drawers, I have that model.
I've got a tram that looks like that. It's not actually from Britain. I think it's from the Netherlands.
Is that a photo or a video? I'm just waiting.
It's a photograph of the webcam, the rail cam.
Yeah.
And there's a few people that say, "Oh yeah, I'm a subscriber to that. I like it."
Yeah.
I didn't think I ever would because I'm not a trained person.
Hold on. Just it helps to make sure that the tin lid is nicely seated. Otherwise, I think, especially with the Humbrol paints, over time, if you don't do that, what happens is the lid gets higher and higher because it gets like a crusty deposit around it.
Yeah.
And that's when your paints start to dry out because it won't seal properly.
Someone needs to clean the TV screen or camera lens. That would be smoke from the area, or like.
I suspect that's smoke.
Yeah.
Because
it's not on one side of it and it is on the other. So that's probably steam or smoke. So
I'm going to say smoke. It'll be clag.
Yeah.
From something. Because both of those will chuck out a little bit of...
Richard Grutus says, I heard multi-use birds are flying off shelves. They do have some budgies going cheap.
God's sake, you've stopped. Please. No, I have to live with this. You've picked her up.
So thank you for sending that in, Katie. Yeah, there's a few people that don't see the point of something like Railcam. I kind of like it. It adds a bit of life to the background when you're doing stuff, you know?
Yeah. Ben Davis, yes. You asked about the new Quark railways. We were actually running them last week.
Yes.
So there we are. There's the box. Full review will be with you on Friday on this channel. You heard that here first.
Oh.
So do look out for those.
Speaking of quad arts, by the way, Mark Edwards has sent in some photos of his quad arts. He says, I thought I'd share these photos with you of the newly delivered quad art coaches on my garden railway. So if you press the button, let's have a look. Always gone for the very nice red ones.
Anybody, Sarah Davis says, you don't have to live with this, Jenny, when divorce is an option. No, I'm sorry.
Lovely.
But
she's stuck with me. I won't allow it.
Like can I just say your viaduct looks amazing.
It really does.
I'd love to. How have you done the outside faces of your viaduct? Because that is a really great and a very realistic effect.
I'm thinking either that's a plastic thing that's got some kind of coating over it.
No, I'm going to say
he's got some molds to make
rubber molds. Rubber molds, yeah. I think. But look at that. That is
it's incredible.
Good. It really does look like he's hand laid every single one of those pieces.
I think rubber molds.
Flymo Chen 1 says cement and patience.
Cement and patience.
I think you might be onto something there. But that is, I mean, the viaduct is amazing. And the coaches are really good as well.
Yes.
But the I love it. Water feature.
That is the winner tonight. That's the winner tonight. You're not going to get a better look than that.
Water feature and alpine plants with an amazing garden railway.
Good.
What's not to like? It is wonderful. Yes, absolutely. Flymo Chen 1. It is wonderful.
That's wallpaper material there on your computer. That's just like wallpaper.
That's I like. I'm really impressed with that. Send Ellis Clark that picture, or at least tag him on social media. He might share that out there.
Anyone from Clark Railworks who's watching, you need to get in touch with this guy. Right, can you press
Peter Jackson, Cheadle Heath, this is 00 gauge.
Oh, yes. Quad arts in 00.
Let's have...
so thank you, Mark Edwards, for sending those in.
They were good. Mark Edwards, you have a really good garden railway. We've got a little bit of a strobe. Could you wave your hand in front of that camera for the jab light mounting? It just sometimes that kills the strobe, you see. TARDIS by the pillbox. Yes? Yes, it is.
Yes.
Actually, it's not by the pillbox, but the perspective makes it look that way.
Okay, we've got an interesting one here from Mark Edwards. It was so nice to say hello to you and Jenny at Model World Live. I was only sorry that I didn't have the chance to say hi to Zoe at least as well. So he must talk to you. Well, this could have been the time when I was just sat from heat stroke just behind. Thank you so much for putting up with me, by the way, Andy. Sawyer Models.
Ben Davis says, have got the L&E Arctic one on order with Clark Railworks coaches. Yeah, apparently due at the end of this month. They do look really good, but they're pretty much sold out. So if you really want the teak ones and haven't ordered them yet, you need to get your order in.
Okay, so this is interesting. This is a different shot of the Garden Railway, because he's been doing work on his roof and took the opportunity to do some aerial photos.
Oh, this is... So we've got a figure of 8 there on the left, and then a dumbbell return loop on the right. This is a really interesting layout. And if you look, there appears to be a branch line as well. There's so much going on.
Yeah.
This is a really fine layout. Where's the water feature and that viaduct that we saw? That must be over to the right somewhere.
Let's have a look. I assume...
There's the viaduct. Look at that.
There's the viaduct. I assume the water feature will be this bit here.
Oh, this is very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's got a much more complex layout at the far end. This is really, really good.
Yeah, I am impressed.
Oh, wow. It's always nice, actually, to see some of these behind the scenes, because it's really useful for giving the ideas. So actually, there's
my goodness, there's another viaduct.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
This is really good. And then I'm guessing it goes into the summer house, and there'll be like loco storage and stuff in there. This is a really good garden railway. I'm really impressed.
Yeah.
I'd love to see...
That is a very tolerant spouse.
Yes. I'd love to see a camera wagon go round this.
Yeah.
I think that would make for a good video. Beth G says, the autocar has been running all weekend and will be running on Sundays. And I think May half term, if anyone fancies a trip on it.
Sounds good.
Jamie Smith says, hi all. Sorry I'm late. Busy.
The Monday Clubber is never late to the wagons. Nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
So I'm just going to go back to all of these and see if I can find the next one. So we've got a photo from Dinmore Junction who says, I thought you'd like to see this Team Monday Club.
Oh,
because Jenny and Craig may have been spotted.
Oh, yes, look, I'm over there on the right. That's me talking to... Oh, nice. Look there. Look.
Big arrow.
Just in case. So there's Craig and there's me propping up the counter with Anthony in front. Antoine. Great guy. Funniest guy I've ever met. He's got such a dry sense of humour, does our Anthony.
So there's a few people, and Jenny...
If there's anybody else that we recognise, I can't...
Jenny was booth barnacling at DCC
I do
Concepts.
that a lot. Where's Richard Brighton? Where's the bright one? I can see RJ at the back there. He might be behind some of those people. But yeah, there we are. Proof we were there. Worthington Model Railway says, they look great, but with new tariffs on Chinese manufactured items, I can't order anything from the UK anymore. I know, we talked a bit about
awful,
this.
Isn't it? It really is awful.
And it's the American consumer that's paying the price.
Yeah.
I think
how many people have we heard from tonight saying, I can't buy stuff now. I just can't justify it. That's what's happening. So it's not bringing stuff
Can
home.
I just say something on Laurel and Hardy?
Yeah.
They always had jackets that were too small, held in the middle with a single button, so you need the white shirt underneath as well.
Oh, okay, I can add that. Not a problem.
You can actually see the outline on Oliver Hardy.
Yeah, sure, I can do that. Not a problem.
And then they're good to go, aren't they? They've come out really nice.
I'm so impressed. I've never done the shader before with the crimson, but it's worked so, and it's actually emphasised the grooves on the faces.
It has,
so you actually
actually.
see the facial features.
Yeah. So is that a Warhammer trick?
Yes, I actually got it from Combat Patrol magazine. For those of you who are fans of Warhammer, 40k have kind of got a bit Partworks magazine going.
Thank you so much, Ham Shackleton and Flymer Chairman 1 for sharing the links to the Facebook group and also for the wagons. We are trying to get them sold. So we're hopefully having a negotiation to finalise what the next Monday Club wagon is going to be at the end of this month. I don't know when we're able to announce it because it's an as yet not announced model.
Yeah.
That it's being based on.
It's a bucket on wheels.
It's a bucket of hot snot. Sarah Davis says, didn't Stan and Ollie have lighter trousers too, like grey? Oh, it could be right, actually. What do you think, like a dark grey? I'm going to say she's right.
I honestly couldn't tell you.
Have you got like a very, very dark charcoal grey?
I have slate grey.
That'll do.
Okay.
Yeah, try that.
Try
that.
Well,
thank you, Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath. Yes. Well done on the 26,000 subs. Oh, thank you. Oh, go me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's getting very hard to get subscribers in
really
this current climate, I must admit. Right, so what do we have up next? And a big hello to Mel's. G'day, Jenny, Zoe, and everyone, says Mel's. But degree of lateness, Gandalf.
The Monday Clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. British Railway Enthusiasts asks, hi, Jenny, when did the Rapido S160's release date? I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Progressing nicely. We've seen some really good stuff from Rapido.
Yeah.
But I don't know where they sit in the chain of things being released. Quite honestly, I just wait until they appear. Light engine movement from Bury East Lancs Railway to Southall West Coast Rail Company.
This is a Black 5 coming through from Richard Swiderski. So thank you once again. It was great to meet you at the show as well, Richard. It's good to be able to put a face to a name.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
There's a lot of signs there saying Goose Street. Goose Street. Oh, you're welcome, Richard. Thank you for sending it in. So, here we go. Beep, beep. No moonwalking.
Oh, no. No Bee Gees solo tour.
Yep. Beep, beep. That's not a Black 5.
That isn't.
That's not a Black 5. I saw Black 5 on the front. Lots of Cheshire Best Kept Station signs.
Yeah, maybe
if that's a Black 5, I've got my...
Oh, sorry, will you wind your face in? Yeah? God, all you do is moan.
I didn't moan, I was just making jokes. Hey. Okay, what we got coming round the corner? What's coming round the mountain when we come?
What's coming over the hill? Is it a Black 5?
That's a Black 5.
Is it a Black 5?
Choo choo!
What's that coming over the hill? Is it a Black 5? Is it a Black 5? I'm going to give him brown pants.
Looking a bit warm there. There's a little bit of wobble on in the air.
Oh, we've had some very hot weather.
We have had some very hot weather. It does look lovely. It's only carrying one...
It's a sport coach.
Yeah.
It's a positioning movement.
Yes, it's good where you should be. Beep, beep.
Beep, beep.
Oh, that's lovely. I do like them. They've got a bit of power to them, haven't they?
Power extreme. Alright, let's just...
That smoke won't keep the steam ban at bay.
Yeah.
That is a good shot. Yeah, you're absolutely right there, Anthony. There we go. Right. Are you...
Yeah, you need to talk to
I'm just looking at what you do. Oh, that's a big thing.
That's Jodrell Bank, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is Cockney rhyming slang for something.
Jodrell Bank, listening to all of our phone calls.
I don't know. They're looking at things in the sky.
Yeah, our phone calls.
No.
Bouncing around, boink boink. Yes. Shame it's not a green 5. Ah, that would be electric.
No.
A green 5 would be an electric version.
No such
environmentally
thing.
Friendly. Talking up the bum, I know.
Yeah, I thought it was
Thank you so much for sending that in, Richard. That was great. Thank you. So, I've put the link into... Radio Telescope runs on GWR Castle bogies.
Yes, it does.
That's cool.
basically they were bought from scrap yards. They have been looked at as to whether they could be reused for railway purposes, but apparently because they rotate on such a tight curved track, they reckon there's a lot of stress fractures in them, which would render them impossible to use in a railway environment.
Well. Okay, so next up we have from Anthnil a quick short saying, here's a video of my latest trip out to the town on Weir Metro. Trip around the northeast with sunny weather. Okay. We're going to put that into the chat and let's have a look at this. How's it coming along with your painting there, Jen?
Really quite well. I'm doing my hair. I'm going to actually use this brown.
You're doing your... Oh! Yes, she's doing her hair. I'm just going to tilt this down a bit so people can see what you're doing.
Yeah, try not to look at my skirt.
I'm not. Well,
okay.
While we pop up this video from Anthnil, let's have a look at this.
So, we're just doing some figure painting. I'm actually doing a couple at the same time, and you know, when you've got a lot to do, that can actually be a good technique. You know, do a bit of one, let it dry whilst you're working on another, and just, you know, work your way through the different colours that you need.
I have to say that the new stuff that's on the Metro looks very different to what I used to go to work on. It looks more like something you'd see in something like Syndicate or Blade Runner now. Very boxy.
Yeah.
Very boxy, in fact.
All let's do is Rod.
They look like they're rendered on a PlayStation from the 90s, so it's got that kind of low poly count.
Are they a bit angular?
Yes. It's nice to see stuff out and about, though. I do like to see the Metro. I used to go to the Metro.
Yeah,
a lot.
When I last rode on the Metro, I have to be honest and say that it was still the old. I think they were the original from the 70s. Metro cars. Very boxy.
The northeast looks lovely.
Yeah, it scrubs up well when the sun comes out.
Yes, when the sun's out.
Yeah.
Not a fan of the new Metro stock aesthetically. No, I'm not either.
So, has the old stock all gone for scrap, or is it still being used? Does anybody know? We're so out.
Those old units are about 40. Yeah, I could tell why they got rid of them, but
it's like nothing lasts forever. If they have got rid of them all, have any been kept, like for a heritage fleet?
I hope so. Yeah, the old stock is still around, says Simon Train.
Oh, good to know.
And apparently some of the older units are back in use. Yeah.
Yes, the new ones aren't very good.
The new ones look like if you're more than 2.5 foot tall, you don't get to ride.
Yeah.
I saw Stan and Ollie there. That was nice.
Where were they? Sorry,
they were on a sign.
Oh, sorry, it's because the new ones have broken down. Leslie Gilbert says the new ones are faulty. So basically, they've got to keep the old ones about to cover for failures.
Oh,
there's the old one. That's the old one. The National Glass Centre.
And there's the new ones. They look so low poly count.
Can I just say, what could be any more northeastern than the National Glass Centre? Like, whoosh. Stitch that.
No, not National Getting Glassed Centre. Jenny bringing the tone down like a git.
Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting. Video made a month ago for getting 100 subscribers, says Gordon Hanning.
Well done.
Congratulations. Absolutely congratulations. Getting 100 subscribers is hard.
Yeah, it's good to get these milestones.
Yeah. Getting 100 people to subscribe is damn hard these days.
What colour should I do his hat, do you think?
Same as his jacket.
Yeah,
Seriously, same as his jacket.
Okay, fair enough. So I'll leave it. I did give it a coat.
Here we go. 100 subscribers. Hanning's Rest established 2021. Nice. Ooh. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on here. Lots of cows in the
nice.
In the
is that the same? No, it's not the same because it's got full yellow ends. But I do like, the BR green with full yellow ends and the grey roof do actually. It's growing on me. I like that livery.
this is a nice layout.
Yeah,
It's got a lot of different stuff going on.
I think we've watched this as it's progressed during the construction.
Yeah.
So, it's the Acura scale one. Yeah, it's a lovely livery. If New Junction's about, if you should ever need to... He
was here earlier on.
He was, yeah. He'll have just banged his head on the underside of a baseball. What you want?
Oh my god, my head is spinning now from all the paints.
We've got the guy who used to be into Massey Ferguson, but now he just sucks
It's not helping. Oh.
We do have an extractor fan, and it's one of the reasons I'm making sure that I put the lids back on.
It's actually making me a little dizzy.
It does that.
My head is spinning.
Yeah, it does
like a whirlpool that never ends.
Yeah.
And it's you, girl, making it spin. Thank you so much for sending this in. This is lovely. I like that there's so much going on. There's little bits for you to feast your eye on everywhere.
Feast your eye.
And a lot more... shall we say, like bushes and ferns? Would you say ferns and things like that?
Yeah.
Undergrowth. That's the word I was trying to get to.
Oh, we got that.
There's a lot more undergrowth on this model than there is on yours. Let's put it that way, because you have a tendency to just ballast large areas and then leave them.
Well, I wouldn't quite.
And then you come back to it later and rebuild certain bits. But there's large swaths that don't have an awful lot on them, whereas everyone else seems to put some undergrowth on. I like it. It's nice. Every time I get to smell soldering fumes, I think to myself, well, that's probably 4 hours less to live. That's true, not strong and free. And to be honest with you...
Yes.
Yeah. But the way I see it is, it's 4 hours off the end. Not when you're young and virile and all of that. It's off the end when you sat around watching Blankety Blank on repeat. Which I have to admit I'm looking forward to. Because I am old. Anyway, we're going to jump on. Thank you so much for sending. Because I think I've stopped Jen from looking at me in the same way.
I was never looking at you.
Virile, what's this thing you speak of? It's when you're full of life, full of vigour.
Yeah, something like that.
I remember Vigour.
Yeah, but he's got better since. Right.
So who's up next? That is the question. Ooh. Okay, this is interesting. Robert Steers has sent us a video about his... well, it will tell me in a minute. 16,000 gallon HO scale fire suppression cars.
Oh, yes, because we did do a review on these.
Don't we?
Yeah.
So we're going to have a look at these. Now, I don't normally do... We are kind of breaking our rule here. TSG Multimedia. This isn't Roker themselves. So we won't be showing a huge amount, but we're going to have a look.
It might be somebody else who reviewed the product.
It is someone else who reviewed the product.
We did do...
But the rule is, what I'm saying is that we don't normally do things from other people.
So...
Product Spotlight. I like that. That's actually quite cool.
I think they use the same editing program that I do.
He's better at photographing than I am. I don't like this.
Okay.
No, it's a joke. Pattern background looks nice. These really are something quite special. Going to move in a little bit. So yes. Okay. Seattle Fire there.
Oh, I got sent that one as well.
Hey, Jen.
Yes?
This guy uses a chopstick to point things out.
I thought about using something like that. I must admit, it has crossed my mind.
So why don't you?
Because it's like, I don't know. I don't know. Now, shut up. Shut up and watch the video.
It's just you with your big sausage fingers.
Just shut up and watch the video.
They are very nice. I mean, there's a lot of talking in this that we can't see, obviously.
Yeah.
But the amount of detail I was very impressed, I have to say. I didn't think I would be for what's basically a tube on wheels. But there's so much going on with them.
Basically a tube on wheels?
I'm sorry, but what do you think a tanker is? It's a tube on wheels.
It's a cylinder on wheels. If it was just a tube, all the liquid would fall out.
You know what I'm on about. But there's so much character.
You don't.
There's so much character to them, which I thought was actually very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was very impressed with these. A lot of talking and concept. I'm sorry, Ham Shackleton. You know what I'm talking about.
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
Let's see if we can jump on and
there
get
are
a different...
noises that come out of your mouth, but they could be anything.
That chopstick is a pencil. Okay, so I'm just wrong on everything tonight, am I?
Yes, you are.
Oh,
Situation
dear.
normal now. Now just read the comments.
Oh dear. Right.
Are you reading the comments?
I've known a lot about tube trains for years. Okay, everyone's taken the pee out of me.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
gonna have no pee
deservedly
left.
so, yeah. Well, you've got plenty of pee to go round.
Decent frames. Yeah, it's all really well done. These are incredible. I was very impressed. BNSF on the side of these. Every time I see BNSF, I just
Burlington,
think...
Northern and Santa Fe?
All I think is BASF and cassettes. It's amazing how things just stick, isn't it?
In your head.
Life can be like a blunt pencil. Pointless. I was very impressed, I have to say. Thank you so much to Scanman for sending that in.
Absolutely.
Very, very nice. Thank you very much. So I'm going to jump back because... there we go. That's really nice. I enjoyed that. I think we got some interesting jokes and you all got to take the pee. So there's always nice there.
Yeah, so win-win.
Okay, so next up we have from Andrew Johnson a message saying, please find another short clip of some Hornby 00. This video was taken at the weekend of the 22nd of March, so we're getting up to date. In the video, Hornby 00 models are mostly featured with the Graham Farish 262 Prairie and an 040 cheap Hornby 00 starter set introduced late in the lifespan of the Hornby company when it was located in Liverpool, before it was bought out by Lines Brothers, as well as some Hornby ACHO, which is made for the French market.
The names...
HO, right.
See, Hornby was the company, and 00 was a play on the scale 00, so 00.
Well, I got that bit.
So when they had they brought out French stuff, it was HO, a play on HO.
Right. So this is from Blegawi. So we're going to bring this up now.
DJ K666, Gandalf's favourite biscuit is probably those outrageously chocolate. They were a full custard cream, but dipped in very thick chocolate. They were
Railway
amazing.
Collector's speciality. Okay. These are interesting.
I'm just going to put that in there. Hot tip for you. Put another cup inside the cup that's got your brush cleaning fluid. It stops it from drying out and it stops the room filling with fumes as well. So you can be very economical.
Debbie says she was thinking of BNFL. I almost applied for a job with them after leaving university.
Is that why you glow in the dark?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did visit a few times, Sallerfield and stuff like that. Stood on the reactor and all sorts. It's actually quite good. BASF used to be IG Farben. They operated it. Yes, they did operate at some of the concentration camps.
Yeah, that might be why they changed the name.
Yes, IBM didn't. IBM kept theirs, despite the fact that they provided some of the equipment to document everything.
Yes.
So wonder they weren't... well, of course, they were on the side of the winners, weren't they?
But was it that their German division was doing this when they basically were out of touch with the mothership?
I don't know.
I would suspect that it was the German division whilst out of...
Siemens didn't change the name either, yes. There's a few of them.
Right, so I've got
Very
Matt,
naughty boys.
Yes, Matt number 100. I'm going to use for he's wearing like a little bit of a buoyancy aid just in case he slips in.
You're a buoyancy
And I'm
aid.
going to use Matt 100 on this doodling.
Thank you so much for sending that. That was very interesting, actually.
Happy VE Day too. Oh, absolutely. And
Yes.
of course, Daypol got a full range of
Happy VE Day
themed wagons available to purchase from all major retailers.
To be fair to Coca-Cola with Fanta, there's actually a very interesting story behind that.
They wouldn't ship the stuff out there or something, was it?
No. Coca-Cola refused to ship Coke out to Nazi Germany.
Uh-huh.
So in order to keep the company afloat, which, by the way, they absolutely adamant that they refused to make it part of the German state. All of the stuff with all these companies, they had to become part owned, or at least part owned by the state. Yeah. Coca-Cola fully refused. Managed to somehow keep themselves independent and kept the company running. And no money went to the Nazis. Good. Somehow. It's a very interesting story. I've given very much the half-remembered Cliff Notes version there, but there are several YouTube videos about it, and it's incredible what they did in order to keep the bad guys at bay, but also keep the company going.
How do you like the doodling?
That is incredible work, Jen. You've done well. So it's very interesting.
You've all done very well. So there we are.
Very interesting.
Just finished my...
Oh my goodness, Richard. Richard Grutus has said, my model Churchill is good, but not perfect. Close, but no cigar.
Oh.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic. Well done. Oh dear.
Right, so I've completed The Fisherman. It hasn't really, we haven't really had the camera lingering on the work, but whilst those videos have been playing,
I'm going to bring the camera down so that everyone can see what you've been doing.
So I'm just going to put that in there.
So there we go. And if we bring up the main Jenny cam.
Yeah.
There we go. So you've done an incredible job there. If you move the white paint out the way, people can see what you're doing.
Right, so I'm going to put that back in my tin of many colours.
So this is going very nicely. You've got a blue top Jenny.
I love that blue. I haven't used that in probably 35 years. So
these are now dry enough that you could consider a black wash, but I would
wait.
Would
I use that?
I would wait until a bit later.
Yeah, otherwise it will soften that. You've got to kind of give it a good chance. So here's my Fisherman.
I am very impressed.
So
the angler in all his colours.
I don't know whether it's focusing.
I am going to shine another light on so they can see it from this side.
It's got like a little bit of a buoyancy aid. So I've picked that out with Humbrol Matte 100. I tend to favour matte colours. They just work better in model form. Teneth Veloca says the Fisherman looks like Nigel Farage from this angle.
So the question is
well, he's not smoking and he's not got a pint in his hand.
Is this Fisherman from Model U?
This is the Model U Fisherman. They had a choice of two. So they had the standing up one and they had a sitting down one as well. And I elected for the standing up one because it's not a lot of flat space to put a sitting down one in. So really pleased with how that's turned out. But also from Model U, we got the birds. They're waiting for a black wash. We're trying that technique that was being suggested.
Yeah. I don't know how you're going to pick that up.
With difficulty.
Yeah.
There we go. So I've also done one of the mini-me's that were sent some time ago. And just waiting on it dry. I've gone with the blue top, and I think Mini-Me will make their way to Minuth Tatus Newith, because why not?
Yeah,
but Model U very kindly sent quite a few of these. Now don't forget that Mini-Me is available both this pose, but there's also a new pose. Both should be on their website. And then I'm actually really quite impressed with the Laurel and Hardy, but I think Sarah Davis was right. You need to do the trousers in a very dark grey.
Okay, that's fine. What I'm most impressed by is this, though. Look at the different colours and textures I managed to get. With a black undercoat, dry brushed in white to highlight certain parts. And then once all that was dry, a very heavy dry brush, multiple dry brushes, to pull out the browns in different shades here and
also highlight the planking as well.
Yeah, that's why I did the black first.
That's come out really
so that
well.
The planks would be
Did you
visible.
glue the hatch in? Because
nope.
the piano is elsewhere. We decided not to leave the piano in.
The hatch is not glued in yet. Yeah. I just dry brushed it all together.
Yeah. So
yeah,
what
I think
are
we've
you
done all right there.
Yeah, no stripes, Jenny. So Hanning's rest model railway. Yeah, I know. I toyed with stripes, but I think the issue is
You toyed with a stripy butt.
I really like the blue. I'm sorry, it's like a French blue. I think Humbrol Matte 25.
I'm going to let you finish for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you talk while I add the shirt.
Okay, the shirt and the trousers, and then I think they'll be good for me to put onto Minute Tattoos and you with. Trevor's TT Train says very well painted. Thank you so much. And MJS Junction says great job, Zoe.
Thank you.
Richard Guter says, was piano wrong scale? No, it's just the piano fits inside the box, so you can pose the lid open or pose the piano out of the box, but it doesn't work in the context of what we're doing. So I thought if we keep the piano, it can be painted up and used, say, like in a bar in something in the future. Andy Fry's Junction says, I can't paint because I'm colourblind.
Everyone can paint.
You can paint, just the colours might not be what you expect. Simon Pitcher says, really great job, both of you. Thank you so much. I'm not a natural figure painter. I should probably do a full video on figure painting. I know Charlie over at Chadwick Model Railways has. Really interesting. But I tend to wimp out and buy the knock and the prizer figures. But I'm really impressed with these Model U ones. And it must as well also give a good shout out to Northumbrian Painting Services.
I love
some great
stuff.
White metal stuff. They very kindly gave me some TT120 sitting passengers, which are perfect to not only provide passengers in your coaches, but provide ballast weight. They do loco crews.
Essential, really.
Yeah, certainly for smaller things like 009, I think they're essential. And I've actually used, they gave me one of their loco crews, and I've painted it up and put it in a narrow gauge loco because I needed all the weight I could get. And yes, Arranville, Dan Everson is the god of figure painting. Certainly, he does it for a living, and he is very, very good at it. Michael Sarsfield, stripes in a small scale, very hard to do, can spoil the good model and work. That's exactly my thought. So I'm going to leave it with a blue jumper. I've actually got a jumper in that colour, so it is an outfit that I would wear. Although I've lost a lot of weight, can I just say?
For grey, how's that?
Perfect. I have lost a lot of weight, so
I
don't have the big fat slurpy belly and the
slurpy belly. My goodness!
And an arse that looks like two badly parked Volkswagens.
Okay.
Man, you could park a plane in that crease.
Okay. Let's leave it at that, baby.
Yeah. Northumbrian Painting Services, there's the link there. Thank you so much,
They're great. Great people.
And 37 Dave says, excellent job on the figure painting. Thank you so much. And look, I'm a complete noob at this. I'm a real newbie at figure painting. What you're looking at is probably about... the first figures I painted myself were the white metal loco kit that I've just shown you the inlay for, and I painted them yesterday. These are my first attempt on 3D printed. So yeah, I think I've done rather well for what is, to all intents and purposes, a first attempt. All you really need is faith in yourself. It's as simple as that, and confidence. I always say this. Everything model railway related is confidence. That's what stands between you and great results. And Flymo Channel 1 says it's 37 Dave's birthday on Wednesday. Happy birthday to you. Squash tomatoes and stew. Bread and butter in the gutter. Happy birthday to you. So there you go. Richard Gruder says, I think they look very good. I think the figures have had a few strokes tonight.
One thing to remember, guys, and I'm going to jump in here. With figure painting, as with any other painting, remember the very key thing. You can always take the paint back off and try again.
Or just paint over.
Or just paint over it.
He'll have black shoes, so I think you just need to touch his shoes up when the grey is dry.
Yeah.
But yeah, where is it? Aaronville says, please do a newbie figure painting video. Maybe I will, actually. We do have quite a lot of the Model U figures about. There's some of the Northumbrian painting services as well. So maybe a little nice relaxing figure painting video. Maybe in 2 parts. Have you demonstrate the acrylic painting and your techniques.
Yeah.
And I'll also film the painting of a figure using my techniques. So you can have either done in acrylics or done in enamels.
Yeah.
And the main reason I go for enamels is this is one of 2 Quality Street tins, double stacked, that I've got of different Humbrol enamels. So I've got quite a lot. I'm used to using them. I've been using these for like 40 years. So, you stick with what you know.
You know what? Yeah, exactly. You stick with what you know.
Yeah. If I started with acrylics, I'd have to learn new techniques. Yeah, the sewing tin of death. It's like, is it sweets? Is it a sewing kit? Or in my case, is it stocked full of Humbrol enamels?
Or in your other one, is it full of grease?
Oh yeah, I've got one full of black grease mixed with used engine oil to use as anti-vandal paint. Perfect, yes. Sarah Davis, they've turned out really nice, actually. Just need a quick touch. Yeah, turn out nice again. Bling, bling, bling. Oh, I wonder if Buggle Skelly Station has got a George Formby. I bet you he has. Leaning on my window. You cannot beat a good tin of old paint tins. Yeah, Richard Swiderski. Amen to that. Yeah, it's proper Quality Street tin from back in the days when Quality Street came in a metal tin and you got a decent amount of them.
Yeah, not like 5 sweets these days.
Can I just say, when they say, oh no, I haven't got smaller, it's like, yeah, they bloody have. The nation's full of sewing kits in bigger tins, so people know you've made them smaller. So we're coming to the end of the night. Michael Sarsfield says a tip for painting figures, especially spraying painting figures, check the weather as it can affect the outcome on the model. Yes. Now some of these, a spray undercoat is quite useful. You can cover a lot of ground very quickly. But as I've shown actually, painting straight onto the bare model with the enamels, you do get good coverage, and I think that's the key. Some of the acrylic washes do need to have a base coat, and you need to make sure that the undercoat is suitable for the overcoat in terms of pick your undercoat colour to give your overcoat the best chance. Anyway, Snuggles, that's my pet name for Zoe, Cupboard Monkey. What are you playing on Monday Night Live?
Well, I've had a request from Andy at Sawyer Models.
Okay.
And funnily enough, it wasn't a shut up.
Yeah.
To play Move Out Manor, which is the game that I reviewed the other day. Apparently he was taken with it and he wanted to see it. There you go. So there's that.
They look good. The grey trousers make it work. Really do.
I've also had a request from Sir Patrick Furlong asking for Star Wars Revenge of the Sith to go with its anniversary. So there's 2. And then whatever people ask for, because it's request night.
Excellent.
So, all the time that I've been doing that, no one could see it. So there you go.
So there's Stan and Ollie. There's another fine mess you got me into. Probably a little bit difficult to see against the backdrop of your dirty painting.
I think they can see it.
Aren't you supposed to clean that when you finish painting? You're doing one of these hipster artists things.
I am an artist.
I never clean my palette.
I do clean the palette, I just don't do it often.
So anyway, it's been an absolute honour having your company. We've covered the tariffs and the effect they're having on American modelers, with the statements that are being put out by many of the American model manufacturers about the impact that this is having. And this is a very real issue, especially as well for people importing items, say buying them from the UK. as the limit on effectively a personal import allowance has been dropped dramatically. We've also got the Bachmann announcements coming on Wednesday. No idea what they're going to announce.
I think they're going to announce the Mega Gronk.
The 66s have kind of crept out. But I think that there's probably an NG7, also known as 016.5 announcement coming. We did speculate a little bit whether this would be something like a mainline Hunslet, would be a good choice. But also a small England, maybe even the War Department Baldwin. There's plenty of choices on these. And I'd love to see some 009 releases too. And I'm not greedy. I'd like to see some re-releases of the Class D open bogie wagons with, there's a lot of options for new running numbers on existing liveries. So Nocton Estates, they had, I think it was about 85 wagons in total. So there's a lot to pick from. Welsh Highland Railway had 4 in their red livery. Only one of those has ever been released by Bachmann. I think it's number 17. And that sold out so quick, you can't find them for love nor money. The War Department grey livery could do with another release. But also the Festiniog Railway had quite a few, both pre and post preservation. So there's quite a few different liveries available there. Plus Leighton Buzzard Light Railway. Arnold Sands used a load, and I'd be interested to see what livery they ran in. But I'm being given the hurry up, so we're just going to drop in for a quick word from our sponsor. The Monday Club is proudly sponsored by TMC, the Model Centre. Check them out at themodelcentre.com. The website features extensive stocks of new models as well as selective pre-owned items where you can track down that bargain you've always wanted. Pre-order with confidence all of the forthcoming models from all the manufacturers. TMC also offer a renumbering and renaming service so you can get the exact identity of locomotive that you want. Why not also check out their value weathering, or go for something incredibly special with their bespoke service where you can choose from a more extensive weathered look right through to custom graffiti either off the peg or to a design of your choice. Check out TMC today at themodelcentre.com and start your model journey. So there we go. Big thanks to TMC, the Model Centre, and of course a huge thank you to all of you guys for coming and joining us. As always, if you haven't already done so, please tickle the like button. Consider sharing us to social media. Get the word out there. The greatest model railway live stream there is on the internet.
Accept no substitutes.
Absolutely. We've investigated mystery boxes. The Cupboard Monkey's quite pleased with hers from Sawyer Models.
Thank you, Andy.
Absolutely. And we've also talked a bit about the effect of tariffs to American modelers. And we've done some live figure painting. I am going to revisit that. I think in the future a video on figure painting will be pretty good. I like the idea of having a half and half, with Zoe doing her acrylic painting techniques on a figure and then me taking another figure and doing my enamel painting techniques. I think that people might enjoy that.
I haven't done the hair. I've forgotten to paint the hair. They still need brown hair.
Okay, fair enough.
So they're not completely finished. I've just realised I haven't done that.
But in a moment, you'll be prompted to go on over to the Game Hammer Classic Gaming Monday Night All Request Live. You'll get a prompt, just click the button and it'll take you on over there, and your live streaming experience tonight will continue. And don't forget, on Friday, we've got the quad art video, Ellis Clark Train's quad art. We've got a full review coming on that, so do look out for that. And we're back with the Minith Tattoos, new with the rebuild of my 009 layout. That's the next part of that, part 3, is coming next week. But until next time, it's been an absolute honour having your company. You take great care of yourself. Happy modelling! Bye for now.
The train now departing is the 2103 service to Packham on the Back, stopping at Grove Street Yard, Minith Tatis, Tatis Newith, Minith Tatis Newith. Eindhoven, Pittsburgh somehow, that unnamed layout that Jenny said had a name. And it turned out it didn't have a name. Grove Street Yard again, because I forgot we'd already been there.
What are you trying to do to me?
Bolton Trinity Road. Butts Farting. Huggleton on the Hill. Somewhere else. Where else have we not done? There's got to be somewhere. Oh yes. All change at 3 cocks for Lord Hereford's Knob, and then on to Packham on the Back. That's the 2103 service to Packham on the Back.
All those wishing to travel to Wet Wang must change trains at Pratt's Bottom.
If you go up to the loft today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes. For every train there ever was has gathered there together, because today's the day that Jenny does the Monday Club.
Monday Club for everyone. So come on and join the fun. It's all
you have some fun.
You always ruin it.
Yes. Almost like it's on purpose.
Yes, I could see that being the case.
Yes. Guess who's back? Back again. Jenny's back to complain. Take care, guys. Good night. I'll see you soon for Game Hammer, where we hammer games with a hammer. No, we don't. It's just a name. Right, I'm going to leave you.
Yeah, would you pass me the mouse?
I'm going to leave you with those.
Oh,
so they can dry.
Yeah, you'll just. Okay.
I've got them all on here so that you can basically pick it up and move it.
Yeah,
but
well,
still
you
drying.
take the rest of your.
I'm taking the rest of my stuffs.
Well, you do that. Do that.
I will.
Yeah. Okay then.
All right then. See you later.
Okay.
All right then.
All right. Yeah.
All right then.
You do that.
I will.
Okay.
I will.
Yeah.
All right then.
Okay, you do that.
Okay then.
Yeah.
All right then.
Yeah, you do that.
I will.
Okay then.
I'm going to.
God, it's like having a blooming 4-year-old in the room.
I'll have you know I'm 5.5.
Mentally, at least, yes. Is your computer switched on?
I'm getting to sort it out in a moment.
Okay.
I've got to bring the other computer into the room, so this is going to take a bit of time.
Oh, okay. So you might be with me for a little while yet. Good night, everybody. Great stream again, ladies, says Andy Fry's Junction. Oh, thank you so much. And for any newcomers and people we missed throughout the stream, Gandalf has now moved down to the biscuit barrel. So you have escaped until next week. And I do apologise for anybody that I didn't spot your comment. I will always say it does scroll up ever so quick. Don't forget you can also check us out over on Patreon and help support the channel to make the videos that you want to see. We've got our full merch store too down below. Check out the t-shirts, the hoodies and more. Get yourself great mugs. And of course, as always, the Monday Club badges. Still got a low stock warning. They're selling quite slow now. I must admit, with 3 big batches out there, it stands to reason. There are still Monday Club badges available. We're not quite at the point where we'll be ordering up the next colour, but it is close. They are going at the rate of a couple of weeks. So hopefully, by the time the next big show rolls around, we might be in a position to release the next colour. Ooh, what colour could it be? Thank you, Flymo Chairman 1. Appreciated. The Land Rover is actually in the scrapyard. So I don't know. I put my finger on it, and no, it's not quite in shot. Yeah, it's just you just see my finger coming into view. It's just over there a little bit. I like to move stuff around. So there's a Land Rover. And there's another Land Rover. There is a third one somewhere. Thank you, JL Railways. No, not in. It's not there for scrap. Beth G says you can never have too many Land Rovers. The more you have, the more chance at least one of them will work. How true. Climate Chairman 1, why did you get rid of your Series 3? A Land Rover's for life, not just for for 20 years of your life. You know, you're never supposed to get rid of a Land Rover. You buy a Land Rover, you never sell it. So we're just waiting for Gamehammer Classic Gaming to fire on up. Climate Chairman 1 says, simpler days of motoring. I wasn't allowed to keep it. Long story. Oh, that's a shame. New steering rack and all. I miss it. I'd be having words with the people who made you get rid of it. Oh, JL Railways, that's very kind of you. Andy Fryers Junction says that 08 is putting in the miles. That's actually a class 09. That's the main line 09, the Hornby one. I think it's running number 09019. It was actually a Model Zone exclusive from back in the day. One of the few Hornby exclusives. It was more commonly Bachmann that people got exclusives from, I think because the minimum order number from Hornby was absolutely huge, and that was always a little bit of an issue. So I got it second hand from AGR Model Railways, which you can also make use of your Monday Club badge for shopping in person for exclusive discounts. Flymo Chairman 1 says, I got a set of 3 Land Rovers in my Oxford diecast mystery bag at Glasgow this year. Really chuffed at that. Yeah, there's some good stuff in those mystery bags. You never get a dud. And you always get something that you can use, or you have a friend you can use. So, what did you say, Zoe? So, I just had word that Gamehammer Classic Gaming is going live. So, a huge thank you for hanging out tonight. It's always great fun and an absolute honour having your company. So, it just got time for me to say, don't forget to catch the video on Friday of the quad art set. And in addition, we've also got the Minith Tattoos rebuild. Part 3 comes next week. But don't forget to watch Part 2, which came out on Friday. A really great video covering the rock faces. A lot of people ask me about videos making the rock faces. Really super easy to do. And I'll show you how in this video. So until next time, you guys take great care of yourself. Happy modelling. When you get the prompt, click the button and you'll be with the Cupboard Monkey for Gamehammer Classic Gaming. Take care. Bye for now.